How is Keith Olbermann on my side of the fence? Politics but not on my side. Hip-hop. The Roots Questl pondered before creating his Keith O Challenge crash course. Brian Better. Getty Images for MTV. Getty Images for Paley Center for Media. When it comes to music history, Questlove is an Afropic rocking compendium of knowledge. So when the co-founder of the Roots got wind that Keith Olbermann's comedically compliment of Eminem's Trump smackdown was couched within a tweet that seemed to dismiss the entire genre of rap, he vowed to take the progressive pundit to school. Olbermann, whose new book Trump is F Crazy This Is Not a Joke came out this week, was likely just tipping his hat to a fellow anti-Trumpet when he tweeted, "After 27 years of doubts about rap, I am now an Eminem fan. Best political writing of the year, period." But the host of GQ's The Resistance unwittingly revealed his willful ignorance of the genre in the process. Super late catching up on what I missed last 24 hours. But how is Olbermann on my side of the fence? Politics but not on my side. Hip H thinking face P. Questlove Gomez at Questlove October 14, 2017. I mean, nothing shocks in these numb times, but Lol Bernstein saw beauty in the Beatles. You have to have your mind set to shut out hip-hop. Questlove Gomez at Questlove October 14, 2017. You have to have your mind set to shut out hip-hop, Questlove wrote Saturday in a series of 23 unthreaded tweets that questioned how the political commentator, with whom the 5-time Grammy Award winner often agrees, could be so culturally unhip. Saying you ignored rap for 27 years is basically saying you're indifferent to the very Black lives you champion on your platform. Then he proceeded to do the most Questlovian thing ever. He made Olbermann a mixtape titled The Keith O Challenge. The resulting 201-song playlist is now streaming on Spotify. And before you ask whether this is just some promo deal on the low, you should know that Questlove is also a strategic ambassador and advisor at the competing platform Pandora, which airs his weekly Questlove Supreme podcast. In other words, he did this one for, you guessed it, the culture. But here's the twist: Questlove's playlist contains not one single rap song. We'll get back to that in a minute. Turns out he wasn't Olbermann's only vocal critic over the weekend, or the first. After appearing on All Things Considered last Friday to parse the fallout surrounding Eminem's Bet Hip Hop Awards freestyle, I continued my commentary, originally intended for my on-air conversation with Kelly McEvers, on social media. I had so much to say on it, and Pratch today about Eminem's Trump diss that I never quite got to my main takeaway, which can't be stated enough. Rodney at NPR Music at Rodneyology October 13, 2017. How much rap have you listened to, or ignored, over the past 27 years? I tweeted at Olbermann in a thread that somehow went viral. From Chuck D to Joey Badass, hip-hop has been the most politically outspoken genre of the last 3 decades. The question posed to Olbermann was an attempt to grapple with all the misconceptions flourishing in the wake of Eminem's diss. With the hype reaching a mainstream pitch, Eminem's attack of the president's policies and personal character was being framed as some kind of first, as if hip-hop, and the bulk of African-American MCs who make up the genre, have been biting their tongues for the past year, and even the past 27, as Olbermann's tweet implied. It revealed a deeper truth, in a sense. By and large, white America still doesn't hear black people, I tweeted. And that in no way contradicts Nielsen's mid-year report for 2017, which ranked hip-hop as the most consumed music genre. Rather, it suggests that despite being entertained by our rhythm and modern-day blues, middle America often fails to comprehend the black experience, even when painstakingly articulated. Hip-hop's righteous rage and political outspokenness still falls on deaf ears outside the culture. Eminem just echoed what his black and brown peers have been saying, spitting, screaming and streaming in record numbers for the past year and a half. So we don't get no credit for dissing Trump a year ago, West Coast rapper YG tweeted in the midst of last week's media frenzy. His song F Donald Trump, featuring Nipsey Hussle, was released back in March 2016. It's one of numerous presidential critiques, ranging from profane to profound, released by artists including A Tribe Called Quest, Common, Kendrick Lamar, Will.i.am, T.I. Amin, and a lot more. The main thing that made Eminem's rehearsed freestyle different is his intended listener. He knows as well as anyone how much overlap there is on a Venn diagram of his fanbase and Trump's constituency. And that's no attempt to discredit him because of his whiteness, he's an undeniable giant of the genre. But when his contemporaries of color take part in similar political discourse without receiving the same elevated platform or heightened fanfare, it highlights the insidious role race has played in the appropriation of black music since the industry's beginning. By applauding Eminem's critique without full consideration of that context, Olbermann contributed to that historical downplaying. He shouldn't be expected to have an exhaustive knowledge of the genre. Taste in music is totally subjective. but implying hip-hop lacks political heft is beyond laughable. It's legacy denial, whether intended or not. Which brings us back to Questlove's monster playlist, more than 10 hours long and not one solitary rap song. What it does contain, however, is a deep dive on the genre's genetic forebear, the funk. Questlove mines hip-hop's sonic DNA with heavily sampled 60s-70s classics from Earth, Wind, Fire, the Ohio Players, Sly and the Family Stone, the Meters, Booker T and the MGs, Betty Davis, Diana Ross and, of course, a heap of James Brown. It's a crate digger's dream, full of familiar-sounding obscurities such as Dyke the Blazers, Let a Woman Be a Woman, Let a Man Be a Man, notably sampled by artists ranging from Stetsasonic Sally to Public Enemy, Welcome to the Terrordome to Tyler, the Creator, Rusty. There's Blackbird's Mysterious Vibes, Paris, The Days of Old, Big KRIT's Highs and Lows, et al., and Fizio's Riding High PMD's Please Listen to My Demo and more. The opening saxophone riff from Jay's Show Me What You Got, it's in there, all languid and mellow, on Lafayette Afro rock band's Darkest Light. And if you're looking for some of those uncleared gems buried in De La Soul's classic discography, still in digital limbo, yeah, I'll recognize the piano licks from Irma Franklin's 1969 cover of Light My Fire as the end transition of De La Soul's Dead's a roller skating jam named Saturdays. Point being, this is deeper than rap. There's an entire cultural continuum that undergirds even the most commercial rubble of any genre. To doubt hip-hop is to dismiss its rich heritage and to shrug off the contemporary trials and triumphs of its progeny. Though I seriously doubt Questlove ever saw the Keith Olbermann mixtape #I tweeted out the night before, hip-hop heads, whether afros or baldies like me, tend to think alike. The artist, scholar and occasional DJ probably already had the syllabus I'd merely alluded to queued up and ready to go. The best part is his 201-song playlist is just the jump-off. He's already promised to return next month with another installment. More power to Questlove. It takes a special kind of emotional labor to play cultural ambassador to an indifferent audience. But to Olbermann's credit, and my surprise, he replied to my tweets the following day. Hate to hit your narrative, but I've been a fan of political protest music, rap and otherwise, for 50 years. My doubts were about my personal tastes, he explained, before name-dropping a couple references meant to highlight his hip-hop bona fides. I had Coolio and All Cool J cassettes before I owned a CD player. With that admission, he may have earned more pity than cool points. But point taken, nonetheless. Eminem's Bodying Trump was the first time I got the thrill, Olbermann continued. No disrespect intended, more a public questioning of my own tastes. For Eminem's Bodying Trump was the first time I got the thrill. No disrespect intended, more a public questioning of my own tastes. https://t.com/Keith Olbermann at Keith Olbermann, October 14, 2017. And every man should indeed be entitled to his own taste. But if Keith O ever feels the urge to challenge himself with a deep dive into hip-hop's historical and socio-political significance, Questlove's curated the perfect playlist for that. I'll be bumping it on repeat in the meantime.